Hello, football edit. Welcome back to Let's Talk Football. Bizola Kaketato Totete, otherwise known as TT, the former Hellenic and African Wanderers midfielder Abaqulusi. Now, let's get straight into the action here weekend, particularly the game here Kaizer Chiefs and TX Galaxy. So it's another win for Kaizer Chiefs, and that makes it four in a row. Now, this is something that we haven't been able to say consistently about Kaizer Chiefs in recent season, especially with regards their momentum. So their goals came from Flavio Silva and Gladly Lepo sold the result. And once again, Chiefs looked organized. They looked disciplined, and most importantly, they looked more effective. On the other side, ETX Galaxy, that's what, seven defeats in the last nine league games. That's a team that is struggling for confidence right now, and it's showing week in and week out. And I don't think, as a football fan in this country, I wouldn't want to see TX Galaxy getting relegated, because it's one of the teams that would afford players that normally are not given chances in these big teams to taste top flight football. We've seen with the likes of Abu Mahlambi, Detergent, and so forth. So let's talk about Kaizer Chiefs first. What I'm seeing right now, it's a team that is starting to understand itself. The structure is there, there's balance. The players are beginning to take responsibility in key moments. They're not just playing for the sake of it anymore. There's purpose in their football. Yes, we might not agree with the style of football, but defensively they look more solid. I think they've conceded only 13 goals this year in the league, and Peterson has what, 11 or 12 clean sheets, if I'm not mistaken. In the midfield, there's more control, especially, the difference I think was Undlovu and Umaboy. You can see that there's a change, and these two players, don't forget that they know each other from Imari's back. So you can tell that at least there's that combination play and understanding within them. They've brought that balance within the midfielder. And I'm not saying that they are perfect. They are far from it, but there's improvement. The improvement is very clear. Now, here is where it gets more interesting. Last season, Kaizer Chiefs, they finished the league with just 13 points. 32 points, I'm sorry, 32 points, and 32 points, guys. And I think there was at position 9. They couldn't even make it to the top 8. Now, that's not the standard of a club of that size. Let's be honest. But this season, they already have 10 more points than last season, and we are not even done as yet. Now, the real question then becomes, um, how do we measure progress of the club? Because for me, progress is not just about trophies, it's about direction. You have these two coaches that obviously don't know if they are going or what. Now, the situation with the coaches is, if for me, Ukhalil Ben Youssef and Cedric Kazi manage to push Kaiser Chiefs to 50 points plus mark, and they secure a CAF competition spot, then we have to ask questions. Do they deserve a permanent contract? Do they deserve permanent contracts? And let's be real here. There's always that talk about bringing a big name like Upito Misiman, but let's be realistic now. I don't think that Kaizer Chiefs would really go for Upito Msimani for obvious reasons. The management of the Kaizer Chiefs just likes being in control. And yes, Mina, I want Upito regardless, but our management, I don't think that they'll go for Upito. And if not Upito, then keeping our current technical team wouldn't be a bad move for me. I don't think that would be wise to get a new coach if we don't get Pito. Let's rather keep what we have and continue and see what happens. And if Chiefs finish with over 50 points and qualify for CAF confederations, then that's a massive improvement, to be quite fair. Yes, maybe we others will say, but they drew in a trophy. Yes, maybe it's not even glory days back as yet. But compared to where they were last season, I mean, that's progress. That's real progress. And in football, you have to respect the process. To be quite honest, you can't keep resetting every season and expect different results. And at some point, you have to build. Trust what you are building. Right now, Chiefs are showing signs of life, and there's that identity. There's the fight and the belief is slowly coming back. And for the fans, that's something to hold on to. And but what I like is the consistency will be key if we keep the current coaches, if we don't go for Pito again. But it's one thing to win 4 games in a row, but it's another thing to sustain that over a full season. I don't know what was the problem, especially after that game, Orlando Pirates. I think that game just destroyed the morality of the whole camp. Because even after that game, they went on to lose against Richards. But I think at some point the team has to be honest to itself. We are doing well, but there's a certain level that Kaizer Chiefs hasn't reached. That level here, Mamelodi Sundowns, that level here, Pirates as well. I know it's breaking rights, and you wouldn't want to be honest. But I think it's quite fair to the team needs to introspect itself and see. I think if we got the 1 point Gulea game Orlando Pirates, then it was going to be a total different run for Kaizer Chiefs up until to this date. I think that game did damage them a little bit in terms of confidence. But I want to hear from you. What do you think if Chiefs reaches 50 points plus and qualify for ECAF Confederation or maybe Champions League? Even though I don't think that they will. Should the current coaches be given permanent contracts, or should they just go after a big name like Upito? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I am TT. Let's talk about football. Stay tuned and stay passionate. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.